Then he goes to Phoenix and greatly improves their organization, finishing 5th in the MVP voting in 2021.
Yes, sir.
And even manages to take that team to the NBA Finals.
Yes, sir, he did.
Listen, I know how...
I'll always be thankful for that. I know we lost the finals. I know it went down the way it did, but man, did we need some excitement or what over here? And he definitely delivered. All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. Hope you all having a good day so far. So, yeah, all the talk is Chris Paul retiring, huh? I'm going to watch this video here with you guys and react to it. This is from Johnny Arnett's channel, simply titled and appropriately titled, Chris Paul deserved better. And yeah, guys, this is why I was campaigning basically for the last year for the Suns to bring him back. I know he loved his time here in Phoenix, and like I figured we can just like sign him to a 1-year deal, let him retire in peace, you know, let him retire with some dignity. But instead, I mean, I was especially campaigning for this once the Clippers did what they did with him, you know, and released him the way they did. I thought, dude, just finish off the last like 3/4 of a season here. You know, we're not title contenders this year, so it's perfect. It'll be a perfect situation, but it didn't happen. And last I saw was he signed with I can't remember who actually. I'm sure I'll find out here in the video. But he signed a deal with the team, and I just can't remember who that team is off the top of my head. And I thought he was going to play out the year, but apparently it's all over. I haven't read into it too much. I just, you know, I kind of read the headline. You know, Chris Paul's retired, and I kind of had like a moment of sadness and like a moment of respect for his career. Boy, did I wish he would win a championship, though. He's one of those guys. He's up there with John Stockton and Charles Barkley and Patrick Ewing and all these guys that never got one. Allen Iverson, that, you know, I really, really was pulling for. But anyways, you guys, the link to the original video is down below in the description. If you don't know who Johnny Arnett is, y'all about to know. Everybody else, guys, let's go. Let's do this, I think. Shout out to members. I appreciate you guys. And hit that like button if you could. I'd appreciate it. Let's rock.
Yeah, Chris was special for my career. Was the first person that I was around to like really take care of their body, show me the importance of the weight room. He was the standard for a point guard when I was growing up. And like, obviously, fast forward a couple years, it's one of my closest friends. Honestly, it's sad the way it's happened. I thought he would, you know, get his flowers a little bit differently, but
yeah, me too.
That'll never change what he's done for this game, and I'm proud of him.
I forgot. CP3 was with young SGA over at OKC. These 3 letters.
Hey, Chris Paul retired, I think should be changed. I think he deserves a better way to go out. You know, obviously he's a hell of a player, hell of a person. I wouldn't be in the NBA if it wasn't for him telling me to go to the NBA.
Wow.
So I think the way his situation kind of went down, I don't know who's right, who's wrong. That's not my position. But for a Hall of Famer, for a legend, for a point guard like that, who's had such a high impact on our game, for him to kind of go out like that, I think it's definitely tough. And, you know, I just wish it handled differently, but I wish him nothing but the best. It's a big brother to me, and it's my guy.
Dang, man. I mean, it looks like I have the similar sentiment to everybody else here. It's just, I can't believe he went out like this. And I'm wondering how much of a choice did he really have? Cool intro by Arnett, though.
So today, I had a completely different video planned to be published, and then some massive news dropped. Well, at the very least, it's massive to me.
Yeah.
And I think one of the sad things is that people are looking at this news and don't necessarily think that it's massive.
I mean, I was following him from his rookie season with the Hornets, and like, dude, he was given, I remember the 3 best point guards in the league at that point were like Steve Nash and then these 2 young bucks, Darren Williams, and Chris Paul especially had my attention. This dude was so fast when he was young. It was ridiculous. The way he would run a break, beautiful. I mean, he's basically single-handedly was getting his team to the playoffs as a young buck. It was fantastic. When we got him in Phoenix, I was so excited. And then, like, everyone here just started focusing on stats. And it drove me crazy because I felt like I was the only one defending CP3 for a long time. Everyone would say, oh, he only got 8 points, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that's okay. Booker got 40. You know, we won the game, and we kept winning games. We even went to the NBA Finals, gave Milwaukee a run for their money, you know. But still, people were just looking at stats, and it would drive me nuts. Like, there's more to the game and more to your role as a point guard, as a general, than scoring points. In fact, that's the least important part of your job as a point guard, is to score points. Anyways, I'm sad to see him go.
Chris Paul is officially retiring from the NBA, and the way he went out was just, I don't know how to put it.
No dignity.
Sad, devastating, ugly, depressing.
Yeah.
This is one of the greatest players in the history of the game. He had 5 assist titles, 6 steals titles. He was an 11-time All-NBA player, 9 All-Defense teams, which very few players have made that happen, and he's been very competitive throughout his years in the NBA. At the beginning of this season, Chris Paul was making his reunion with the Los Angeles Clippers, and it was known that this was going to be his final year in the NBA. So we thought we were going to get a solid farewell tour for CP3. And then the Clippers did what they did, sending him home, and then just recently, he was included in a trade package that sent him to the Toronto Raptors.
Let's go back real quick. Them sending him home makes zero sense to me. Like, I understand there might have been some tension in the locker room or whatever, but here's the deal. When it's time to just, you know who you were getting with Chris Paul. Because Chris Paul was the same dude he was back when it was Lob City in LA. So it's not like you didn't know what the personality was you were getting involved with. So you suck it up for 1 year. You give Chris Paul his flowers. You let him play it out and you move on. There's so much corruption going on with the Clippers as it is. They could use a good distraction, you know? Between all the allegations when it comes to the fraud and all that with Ballmer and Kawhi Leonard, like, that's bad enough. And now Harden ditches you guys, you know, like, you have enough negative stuff going on in LA. You could have used one positive story, which was the retirement and the farewell of Chris Paul, but you blew that one too. You absolutely blew it. You just cut ties with the guy.
And then just recently, he was included in a trade package that sent him to the Toronto Raptors. Now, you saw the edits with him in a Raptors jersey on social media, but the truth is, he never even put that jersey on because they had no intention of keeping him.
Okay, so they just signed him to retire him?
They just released him today, and then seemingly...
Released him? Wait. Hold on.
Because they had no intention of keeping him. They just released him today, and then seemingly just moments later, we got the official announcement of his retirement. Now, if you're a young fan of the NBA, and let's say you started paying attention to the NBA...
Wait, so he didn't even get to retire as a member of the Raptors? He just retired, without a team? What was the point of signing him then?
At about 2010 or 2011, then I honestly think that you never saw the peak of Chris Paul. As a New Orleans Hornet, this guy was absolutely ridiculous.
Yep, you remember.
One of the greatest point guards that I have ever seen in terms of peak.
Me too.
He was leading the freaking Hornets to be a contending team in the Western Conference when the West was arguably the strongest it had ever been.
Yeah.
In 2008, he was the MVP runner-up to Kobe Bryant as he averaged 21 points, about 12 assists, and nearly 3 steals on 49% shooting. Many people actually think he should have won the MVP award that year. But Kobe was given the award, and did he deserve it? Sure. But I think it was also a recognition of the fact that Kobe finally had a top-seeded team. This version
I'll put it this way. Had Kobe had been treated properly prior to this, he should have had at least one MVP, up until this point, in my opinion. If he would have had a couple MVPs leading into this season, I think they would have given it to Chris Paul because it was he was due. But in this situation, it was really Kobe who was way overdue for that type of recognition.
Paul was fast, he was explosive, and he was a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. His court vision was insane. He was one of the greatest lob passers that I have ever seen. And obviously, he would go on to display that to an even greater extent in his Lob City days with the Los Angeles Clippers.
Yeah, even at a young age, his footwork is phenomenal to me. Like he said, his court vision, his defense, all that stuff is great. His mid-range game with his footwork, I still to this day am mesmerized at the stuff he can do about 8 feet away, like 6 to 8 feet away from the basket on all angles. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. I was always on my toes. Even when I was watching him every single game here in Phoenix, I didn't know what was coming up next. I didn't know.
Which
I wouldn't know how to guard him.
Will now be bittersweet to look back upon, knowing how it all ended with the Clippers organization. Now at this point, Chris Paul had been around for so long that a lot of people are forgetting just how good he was, but not just at his peak, but at various moments of his career. For a while, Chris Paul was kind of the very definition of turning back the clock. When he was with the Houston Rockets in 2018, they looked like they actually could be the team to defeat Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, and the juggernaut Golden State Warriors. But it was Chris Paul's injury that actually sealed their fate.
This is the story of it, though. This is the gonna be the black cloak or whatever. Whatever. Screw the analogy. This was the problem with his career. And this happened here in Phoenix too. This seemed to follow him wherever he was. Late in the season, during the playoffs, he is very injury prone. And it is a liability. But to me it's a fair trade-off. You bring in Chris Paul, you're a title contender. You eliminate him, you're no longer a title contender. So I would rather roll the dice on him being healthy in the finals than not have him at all. But I have to admit, as a fan, a big fan of his, this happened too many times. I can't debate my friends when it comes to that.
He then went to OKC and returned to All-Star status and actually finished 7th overall in the MVP voting. Then he goes to Phoenix and greatly improves their organization, finishing 5th in the MVP voting in 2021.
Yes, sir.
And even manages to take that team to the NBA Finals.
Yes, sir, he did.
Listen, I know how...
I'll always be thankful for that. I know we lost the finals. I know it went down the way it did, but man, did we need some excitement or what over here? And he definitely delivered. The show between him and Booker, phenomenal, man. That was a great couple of years.
This all works as somebody who's been an NBA fan for many, many years at this point. History does not look kindly on players who failed to win a championship.
I know. That's why I wanted him to win.
But the reality is, Chris Paul was always making his teams better.
Yep.
He was a contender, he was competitive, and some things just happened to unfold in ways that were extremely unfortunate for him.
But so did Steve Nash, so did Charles Barkley, so did, all these other guys who didn't win, John Stockton. And I hate to say it, but I'm old enough now to have witnessed it. These guys are not nearly talked about as much as they should. Tracy McGrady, there's so many names that are like, oh yeah, I remember that guy. But if they won a championship, say like Dirk, he won one. We all, no one is ever forgetting Dirk because of that championship. It just shows the importance of focusing on that task while you're playing. If you are worried about legacy, forget the stats, forget all that other stuff. Win championships or die trying. That's how your name, if you want to be remembered, that's what you got to do. You got to win.
I can only imagine if the trade to the Lakers wasn't blocked in 2011, what him and Kobe Bryant could have done together in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Dwight Howard probably would have joined in the following offseason as well, and Dwight is the exact type of center who thrives alongside of Chris Paul.
For sure, that pick and roll would have been unstoppable.
To me, this is a very sad day in the NBA because this is not the way that a legendary career should end.
I mean, think about it. The Nash to Amari pick and roll, and having Marion on the other wing was basically unstoppable. Now replace that with Chris Paul and Dwight Howard. Yeah, good luck. Good luck, league.
But tragically, this is the dark side of longevity. It's nice to remind guys for years and years after your prime that you've still got it. But at the same time, this league is a business.
Hold on. Can you just see the joy in Phoenix here?
Your prime.
Look at the bench. Look at everybody.
Still got it.
Look at everybody. It was great times, man. Great times with CP.
But at the same time, this league is a business. And the day may come where no one has your back and where no one is giving you a call for your services. So what do you guys think? How would you sum up the career of Chris Paul?
Shoot.
I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comment section below. Shout out to the members for supporting the channel, and thanks for watching as always. Make sure to like and subscribe for more basketball content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Yes, sir. Shout out to members over there, over here. Thanks for keeping us going, everybody. Thanks for keeping us going through these dark times. We don't want to quit. I'll tell you that much. I know none of us want to quit. Oh, how do I sum up the career of Chris Paul, man? I think we did it. Like, I'm still sad, so I don't have that energy to really talk about it too much. I mean, honestly, the only thing he was missing is that championship. He did everything else. He did everything else you could possibly ask, and he proved himself over and over and over again. That's the only thing. He missed the championship, and honestly, it wasn't because his mindset was wrong. It wasn't because he wasn't a good enough player. It was usually because of his physical health, the deteriorating towards the end of the season. And if he was a load manager, that would be one thing. If we're talking about Kawhi Leonard or something like that, we'd be like, yeah, well, you never played. With Chris Paul, he wanted to play. He just suffered injuries at the wrong time. He'd be back out there as soon as he possibly could, but that was it. That's what, in my opinion, he could have had at least one championship, maybe two, if he could have stayed healthy throughout, his entire career in the playoffs. Say he was like Michael Jordan, health-wise, in the playoffs. Never missed a playoff game his entire career. I think he could have won two. And I'm just sad he didn't. And I thought the consolation prize would be that he'd get to, gracefully, with honor, play out the rest of the season and then retire, walk off the court, say goodbye to everybody, and get that moment. But he's never going to get that moment now, so there's no going back. I would love to hear why the Raptors signed and released him like that, because according to this video that I just reacted to here by Johnny, it really sounds like they signed him, they waived him, and then Chris Paul said, I'm done, I'm going to retire, instead of going, looking for another team now, because is what it is. So if that's the case, I wonder what the hell happened. Why sign him and then release him like that? I need to find out, so I got to go do my own homework. Everybody, thanks for watching. Leave your positive or negative. I would prefer positive on this one, just because I think it's deserved, because it's over now. But leave your comments down below about Chris Paul. What do you think about the situation? What do you think about his career? Let me hear it down below. I'll be down there responding. So, all right, guys. It's a shame. It's just a shame. All right. I'm out of here. Like the vid, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out Johnny's channel. Link is down below. And most importantly, everybody, this is the Be Water, my friends. Peace out.